There we go. Starting off hot. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2024 YSN Softball All-Star Game Draft. DJ Euclid on this side, Anthony Hartwig, the Dean of Girls Sports, on the other side, also the Master of Communications and Social Media for YSN. So glad, Anthony, that this night is about to happen, and we talk about it all the time. One of the best nights of the year when we talk about the All-Star games that we put forward. Not only because we have so many young men and women representing their communities, their schools, their sports, but also they do it all for a great cause. This year, this season, for baseball and softball, we are raising money for the National Youth Advocate Program, NYAP for short. They do so much with communities, with foster kids, and beyond, and we want to make sure that we can help raise funds so that way lunches are paid for, diapers are paid for, things that I know they have shortages all over the board. And we here at YSN want to make sure we advocate for them because they advocate for everybody here in the region. So we're excited to do that. And it was some breaking news earlier today. Not real crazy about it, but not a whole lot we can do about it either. Anthony, you and I talked about it a little bit. We talked to our guys, our workers, and we have put the word out that the game that was scheduled to be played 6 o'clock on Wednesday at Youngstown State University at the field, their beautiful facilities. Unfortunately, Mother Nature not going to cooperate with us this year. But the good news is it's not canceled completely. They just asked us to move it a day. They're expecting hail. Check out Storm Tracker 21. We're not lying to you. We're not forecasters. We're not meteorologists, but we have to go what the experts say. And for us to move this game, it takes a heavy lift. Anthony, thank you so much. Chris Sigler, and so many of you, thank you incredibly for understanding. We have to worry about safety first. Excuse me. Here we go. Of the coaches, the players, everybody involved, the fans, obviously, the parents, and spectators. So it wasn't an easy decision, but it was one that we had to make to err on the side of caution. And certainly we are grateful that we have so many people that understand that we're doing this for the right reasons, not selfishly, because trust me, we don't want any more work than we had to do already for these All-Star games. But you did a great job. So far, it sounds like people are pretty accommodating to moving 24 hours.
I mean, of course, we've lost a couple. That's going to happen. Some people couldn't move from Wednesday to Thursday. They had vacations or travel ball that they were leaving for, early games on Friday, whatnot. But we still have 56 out of we came into today with 59. So we've only lost 3 roster spots to this point. We're still trying to get a hold of a couple people. Hopefully that gets back up to where we were. But right now, I would say only losing 3 at this point is a pretty good thing to do when you have a 24-hour shift. It comes out of nowhere.
That's a big win. I mean, we could have moved it up. That was, I guess, an option, but not exactly the option we wanted. And we are incredibly sorry. I know there was a lot of people that, I shouldn't say a lot of people. There were people and players, fans that were really excited about this opportunity. We are, heartbroken. And I mean that from a real standpoint. We're heartbroken that you can't make it. We're sorry. We understand that we're not, a top priority when it comes to this. We apologize for the inconvenience if you can't make it, and certainly we'll do our best after the game to see if we can get you a T-shirt or something to commemorate the experience. And we thank you so much for it. So, but tonight, Anthony, we find out who's a star and who's a stripe here on YSN, and you know how we have to do this, right? There's only one way that we can do this from now on. And ladies and gentlemen, either introducing or reintroducing of crap, Destiny is all right.
Not the wheel of crap. No,
it's not the wheel of crap. We don't have a wheel of crap. Others might have a wheel of crap. Oh yes, but we have the wheel of destiny. We were taking it for a test drive before we even started, so technically we think it works. We just never know with technology. So the question now, Ant, is who is home team? Who is away? Did we do a coin flip? What did we do?
We did not do a coin flip. And unfortunately, Coach Ward was unavailable to come on. They're having their awards banquet tonight in Austin Town, Fitch. So I think the way we do it, you just want to give state champion the home team and say,
No.
No?
way he would want it. I have a coin.
You have a coin. Oh, you have a coin.
On one side is heads. On one side is tails.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, who gets tails? I have to answer it too. I have to ask.
I was trying to connect my brain. Lakeview gets tails.
Lakeview
tails never fails. They have a better chance, right?
Are you rooting for Lakeview right now? Like Coach Ward is going to be absolute.
I tried to give Fitch the home team, and that was we're going to flip a coin. So
you're offending everyone. All right, here we go. Tails is Lakeview. Here we go. Up, down, and it is heads.
All right.
Heads is the call. There you go. I'm not lying. We seek truth, justice, and the American way here. So that means that home team will be Mr. Stephen Ward. And it means that he gets the second pick in this draft. So, Anthony Hartwig, without further ado, who do we have? Who's the first pick in the 2024 YSN All-Star Draft?
This one going to Coach Dave Kilm from Lakeview, and the first spin of the draft is going to be Mackenzie Nixon out of Wellsville. We're getting the Tiger down by the river to start things off.
Right off the jump, Mackenzie Nixon of Wellsville. Congratulations. First pick of the draft. Historic.
Historic indeed. And, Wellsville is a team out of the EOAC. They've seen their fair share of tough competition. So I don't think Mackenzie's going to be too intimidated by some of the really good pitchers that we're going to have in this All-Star game. That's for sure.
Out of the EOAC as well. And, you hear lots of conversation about who has the best conference, who has the best teams, things of that nature. So, yeah, excited to see the EOAC represent right off the jump, man. All right, who do we have next?
Let's go. Spin number 2.
Beautiful, beautiful wheel, by the way. Pat Sajak would be jealous.
Kylie Folkwine and Austintown Fitch, the state champion, goes to Steve Ward. So he's going to be happy that he gets one of his players off the jump as well. Kylie Folkwine, one of the best catchers in the YSN family, and converted to catcher this year, was patrolling center field last year. And then McKenna Hogan graduated out of Austintown Fitch, and they had to find someone to be Sydney Watts' backstop, and it turned into Kylie Folkwine, who did an amazing job with that role.
I had to move us because we were blocking. You never want to block the names and lights.
All right, you ready for spin number 3?
I am, my friend. See, we got it wrong. We said before we started, I should be the one spinning, and you can talk about the girls instead of putting all the pressure on me. Like, I don't know.
This one's going to Lakeview. Abby Hodilla from Beaver, and we are so happy that Beaver is going to be a part of this All-Star game. We had a baseball representative for the first time from Beaver on Saturday, and now we're going to have a softball one too out of Pennsylvania.
Making history. Ty Butler, the first ever Beaver representative officially in an All-Star game. We had a couple that were set to go in basketball and couldn't make it. So another historic moment here for Beaver, the Lady Bobcats, and YSN.
Let's go with spin number 4. This one's going to Steve Ward.
You think they're watching this live at the banquet?
Oh, that would be if you guys are, give us a shout out. Hit up some comments. McKaylee Thornhill out of Jackson Milton, the senior that's going to be continuing her softball career at Washington and Jefferson. I know
she was up for Big Dog this year, wasn't she?
Yes, she was up for Big Dog. And I know you're familiar with that college being in the same conference as Westminster.
I won't hold that against her.
Wouldn't expect it to, but McKaylee Thornhill did a lot of good things for Jackson Milton in her time there in North Jackson. Multiple sport athlete, volleyball, basketball, and softball, and she's going to be a very big Miss Senior Leader of the Blue Jays athletics community. I think if you ask any of her coaches, they'll tell you that right away as well.
Congratulations, McKaylee.
All right, let's go into spin number 5, which goes to Lakeview.
Okay, let me do the coloring in here on the chart. That way it makes you a little bit. You can talk about the girls a little bit.
You got it.
What color is what?
So blue is going to be Steve Ward, and orange is going to be Dave Kelm. And Riley Frazier, just from St. John, just went to Kelm's team on orange. He'll be the
got it.
Away side.
Okay, we're good.
All right, so from St. John, and I believe this is going to be her first All-Star appearance. We had Izzy Haller, who was pretty much do everything for Ashtabula St. John last year to be their debut in the All-Star game. So now we get some fresh blood out of the 440 in Ashtabula County for the Heralds. All right, here we go, Coach Ward. Your next pick on the clock.
Clock lasts about 10 seconds, in case you were wondering.
Mylena Williams from Campbell, and I know Coach Ward is a big fan of her. She was on his team last year. A great catcher out of Campbell, does a lot of things the right way, and I think she's going to be a college level talent when it's all said and done, and she finishes her career as a Red Devil.
Keep punching, Anthony. This isn't the NFL draft. We're not trying to have 3 hours. We don't have any sponsors.
All right, this one's going to Kelm. Dave Kelm, he's going to get Kennedy Bartlett out of Lakeview. So far, we've had one Lakeview player, one Fitch player, and they've both gone to their respective coaches. So Kennedy Bartlett from Lakeview, she will be in her own coach's dugout. Back to Ward as we're spinning around. And we have Samantha Lippy at Ada United, who has just about every offensive record that you could possibly have in Hanoverton, and going to finish out her career as an Eagle in the softball All-Star game. She'll also be a college softball player at the next level in the next 4 years as well. So very excited that she's going to be a part of this game. All right, back to Coach Kelm. Coach Kelm's going to get Jenna Treveri out of Canfield. Speed demon, center fielder, and everything that you'd want out of someone that gets on base from the Cardinals, a state champion as well.
I was just going to say, you forgot one superlative. State champion.
State champion. We have a lot of them on this wheel. For Coach Ward, he's going to get Jaylee Wilt out of South Range. And I'm sure he'll call that eephus pitch a couple of times in the dugout. Try to get some hitters off balance with that.
Got to be ready for it. Will I guess the question is, will Jaylee call her own pitches like Sid did?
I hope so. For Coach Kelm, we have Sydney Lutz out of Campfield. He gets back-to-back Cardinals. And Sydney Lutz did a really good job at second base for that state championship Cardinal team this year. Back to Coach Ward.
Dude, this wheel is awesome.
Coach Ward is going to get Katie Culianos out of Ursuline, the junior going into her senior year. And she's going to be someone that's highly recruited in the recruiting process this summer. I expect in a couple of months we might see someone be able to get a verbal commitment out of her because she's an excellent third baseman.
Keep in mind with the recruiting aspect of things, this year was the last year for the COVID kids.
You're right. That's going to be a big thing. And now transfer portal's heating up even more. Coach Kelm's going to get Gianna Mancini out of McDonald. McDonald, the MVAC co-champions this year with Western Reserve. And now we'll spin for Coach Ward again. Coach Ward is going to get Caitlin Plesko. We just announced her as the co-offensive player of the year this year. I think at the end of her softball career, she's going to have a lot of those Columbiana hitting records, and well-deserved. Also, can be an arm if Coach Ward wants to use her as a pitcher as well.
Do we have a lot of arms in this game?
We do. We have a lot of arms. Softball is a little bit more versatile. We have a couple of players that can pitch and do a lot of different other things, and we have a couple of players that can do the same with catching too. Kayla Helko, back-to-back McDonald players get drafted by Coach Kelm. And now we'll go back to Coach Ward and see who he gets.
Coach Kelm's got those Blue Devils on lock.
And Riley McDonough, who I think has just been a superstar in every sport that he touches at LeBray. Softball, no different. A 500 hitter this year for the Vikings. She goes to Coach Ward's team. All right, Coach Kelm, you're up, bud. Our coach of the year this year is going to get Marina Koenig. He has 3 Canfield Cardinals now on his team. Coach Ward. He's like, I mean, I'm sick of playing these girls. Now I have to play all 3 of them again in the All-Star game. Let's see what he can get to counter it. We know who you're waiting for, Steve.
Wouldn't that be something?
Coach Ward gets Savannah Turek, an impressive freshman out at Middle Ridge. She'll pitch. She'll be shortstop. She'll do a lot of everything. She can play in the outfield, whatever Coach Ward wants her to do in that All-Star game. All right, back to Coach Kelm.
Can he clean sweep Canfield?
That'd be something. He gets Jocelyn Irie out of United, the slapper, the speeder, and the on-base expert. Had a nasty on-base percentage. I believe it was above 600 this year. So hard to get out.
So Lippy and Irie are in opposite dugouts, but the same uniform.
Ooh. Coach Ward, who you going to get? Morgan Lively out of Lisbon. I think she's been in like every All-Star game we've had because she does everything for Lisbon Athletics. Kind of one of those multi-tool athletes down in Lisbon. All right, Coach Kelm. You get Channing Troy out of Salem, the catcher for the Quakers that hit over 400 this year and led them in almost every offensive category.
That's not a bad pick.
No. Anytime you can get a catcher, you know, you feel kind of locked in.
I like that, Anthony. You just got a raise.
Rachel Molotov from Springfield, a senior that really led them through a year where they lost a lot of seniors from last year and just kind of navigated the tough season for the Tigers. She had a lot of great offensive numbers. She goes to Coach Ward's team.
Now, keep in mind, as we said during baseball, that if there aren't enough arms or catchers on one side, we're going to have to do some maneuvering, some trades. So you might see that during and before the game.
And Coach Kelm is going to get someone that he's pretty familiar with out of the NE8. Isabella Rexroad from Niles, a Dragon, goes to Coach Kelm's team. And now we'll go to Coach Ward.
I'm pretty sure Sam is watching this and watching the the doc at the same time.
Out of East, we have Adalise Peterson, Golden Bear, going to represent. And, man, they were well represented at the baseball game, so I'm happy that they get a representative at the softball game, too. For
Coach
Ward. Yeah, Coach Ward.
Got it.
We'll go back to Kelm. And a lot of big names left on the board. Coach Kelm's going to get Isabella Bailey from Badger. That's an arm for him as he gets another pitcher, a really good one. Took Badger all the way to the district semifinals where, you know, no harm. They fell with Tim Matthews, who eventually went to the state tournament. Coach Ward, it's your spin, buddy.
There's a couple Falcons
left on the board. Absolutely there are. And he's going to get Kira Brogan from South Lane, so I believe we've split those two. And no, it's not. No, Ward does have both the Raiders, right?
Got both Raiders.
All right. So Coach Kelm, who had to split with South Lane to earn the program's first split of the NE8 championship, has to deal with 2 more Raiders on the other side. We'll spin to see.
Left on the board, Ant.
Maybe Coach Kelm can snag it. Get Riley Rowe out of LeBray, another great arm, another impressive freshman for the Vikings. Coach Kelm racking up the pitchers.
you say the Vikings?
Vikings. Did I
Vikings.
say Vikings?
I thought you said the Vikings.
It's a Viking. Let's spin for Coach Ward. Get off of that real
We're gonna
quick.
go watch the Vikings. Love it.
Coach Ward, you are gonna get Sage
Oh!
Penn Valley. House of Pain. Lakeview and Coach Kelm next on the board. And you get Allie Jones out of Western Reserve. And that's a catcher for you. And it's also someone that will slap and get on base an awful lot. Bat over 700 this year for the Western Reserve Blue Devils. And he has quite a bit of Blue Devils, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it continues.
So now we go back to Coach Ward. The wheel is getting a little bit bigger. He gets Allison Hill out of Jefferson, another 4-4-0 girl. I know somewhere Sam Torres is cheering. Coach Kelm, you're on deck. And the
back 4-4-0s.
Next name for Coach Kelm. Going to get Addie Craven out of West Branch. I think someone that really went under the radar for the Warriors. And that's going to be a good player for Coach Kelm to get. Coach Ward coming up next. I think we're going to get Beaver Local, Addison Eels, and she was a winner of one of the weeks of Big Dogs in the Valley. So we know she's going to bring a lot of support. Let's go out of Beaver Local. Let's get to Youngstown on Thursday. Coach Kelm out of Lakeview's next pick. Going to get Hannah Myers out of Warren JFK, and that's another player that does a lot for that athletics program. Good at volleyball, good at basketball, really good at softball as well. An all-around triple sport athlete. All right, Coach Ward, we're getting down to bigger name slots, bigger pieces of the pie.
Oh!
He just swept the Raiders. He's got Gianna Pauline, the hero of their regional championship, and maybe one of the most exciting moments on YSN that I can recall. A walk-off inside the park home run to beat champion and head to state.
So the Raiders are all Team Ward. They are all stripes.
Coach Kelm, you counter with Haley Taylor from Hubbard, an impressive underclassman. Sophomore for Hubbard, and that's someone out of the NE8 that you're pretty familiar with, and I know you'll be able to use pretty well. That's another arm, by the way, for Coach Kelm as well, a pitcher for the Eagles. Coach Ward, see who you got. Ooh, almost got Crestview, but it goes right to East Palestine and Taylor Foster. And there was a couple of Fosters on that team that did pretty well. That name's running pretty true in East Palestine.
It always does, my friend. It always does.
Coach Kelm.
Oh, it's a big one.
Get someone from Pepper Pike down to YSU. Kelsey Lewis from Orange. The Lions going to be at the All-Star game, and here we're going to be on Coach Kelm's team.
Irony is she's now orange on the spreadsheet.
It was faded.
Oh,
Coach Ward. You're going to get M. Cook from Crestview. Rebel off the board. Now Coach Kelm going to take a spin. More money. Oh, I think he's going to get another Bulldog on his team. Calissa Warner from Lakeview. So, Coach Kelm, you get to coach both your girls. Coach Ward, you're on deck. You still have 2 Falcons on the wheel. Oh, it worked.
Do we?
It worked. Coach Ward gets to stay with Sydney Watts, Austintown Fit. So happy to have her as a part of the All-Star game this year. And she'll be in the dugout with her head honcho.
First, right? First ever for Sid.
First ever for Sid. We
that she can make.
Found the sweets. Right.
Keeping her out.
And Coach Kelm answers with a pretty good arm in his own right with Romani Adams from Camel. So they both get pitchers in the last spin, and we go right back to Coach Ward.
Those chunks are getting bigger.
Looks like we're going to get Rachel Strohmeyer, who had a perfect color for Liberty. It's right there with the burgundy. She's someone that can do a lot for you, too. She can be a shortstop. She can be a catcher. She can be a pitcher for you. Whatever you need, a versatile softball player from Liberty.
That's
all right.
Kelm? Or who is it?
Kelm. Coach Kelm coming up. Oh, he's going to get last year's All-Star MVP. Josie Milliken out of West Branch hit a bomb last year in the All-Star game. Can she make history repeat itself for Coach Kelm? Coach Ward on deck.
Oh.
Got another 4-4-0 player, I think. Yep, Madison Drew from Conneaut. Coach Ward has a lot of 4-4-0 talent on his roster. Here's Coach Kelm's spin.
Keep this up. Sam will be wearing a Austintown Fit shirt on Thursday.
And Coach Kelm is going to get Tori Strines out of Boardman. And she's been at all three of our All-Star games now. So she's going to be going for 4-4-4 next year, maybe.
Thank you, Tori.
And now we spin the wheel again for Coach Ward.
Oh, Poland's finest.
Going to get a Bulldog, and her brother was a member of the baseball All-Star game. And now we get Leanna Bocheri. That's a catcher for Coach Ward there. And I'm sure he's happy he gets someone that he can put in the gear behind the plate.
Special shout out to Mary Brandt. We know she was good to go, and then the change in the game knocked her out. So shout out, Mary.
Lexi Insinger from Southern, a pitcher that is just really good for the EOAC. Really strong pitcher out of Southern, and she goes to Coach Kelm.
You're doing a really good job of keeping track of these.
Ward's turn. He's going to get the power hitter out of Brookfield, Ariana Jones. Get some pop in that lineup. Now these pieces of the pie are really big.
Now, we've seen home runs in every single one of our All-Star games for softball, have we not?
Yes, we have. And Maddie Weimer from Boardman is going to go over to Coach Kelm's team. He gets both the Spartans. Coach Ward played them a lot in his coaching career.
Oh.
Lily Marilillo from Middle Ridge is going to be getting the Coach Ward's team. It was one of their 1-2 punch. Middle Ridge had a really impressive season with two pitchers in the circle, Savannah Turbick, who's already off the board, and Marilillo, who pitched well for them as well.
Interesting name still on the board there, my friend.
All right, here we go. Coach Kelm. He gets Cam Perkins, the catcher out of Columbiana, one of statistically the best catchers that we have on the network. Could not avoid getting her in the All-Star game. Coach Ward, here's your spin.
So you split up Pleska and Perkins.
And Coach Ward is going to get a pitcher out of Salem. He threw just the third no-hitter in Salem program history this year as a freshman, Morgan Blaine, off the wheel. Coach Kelm, there's 4 players left. You know, 1 in 4 chance.
That last spin was Ward?
Yeah. Kelm is going to get Lucy Paolillo, the CVC Player of the Year out of Edgewood, and that's going to be the first 4-4-0 player to not be on Coach Ward's team. All right, Coach Ward, 1 in 3 chance of one of these players. Coach Ward's going to have one. I thought we had an even number of players, but. And Coach Ward gets his Falcon, Ayla Ray. He sweeps the board with the 5th players.
You know what that means, David? You know what that means? It means all the Fitch players are in one dugout. All the Canfield players are in the other. Potentially.
Bragging rights on the line, right?
Oh, my goodness.
All right, you got two spins left, 2 coaches left. Here we go. Coach Kelm, you are going to get our representative out of Mohawk, Erica Young, Erica with an A, because she brings her A game every day. The Warrior goes to Coach Kelm team, and this is going to be the most dramatic spin in streaming history. Who are you going to get, Coach Ward? Coach Ward, you're getting AC Kalina out of Canfield.
So you've got one Canfield rep in Coach Ward's dugout. The other three.
Across
you know what?
The way.
I'm going to pull rank right here. I'm going to pull rank. We're making a trade. The last two.
Put those last two. All right, we'll put Kalina over there in Coach Kelm's dugout, and then we'll give Erica Young over to Coach Ward. I like it.
Erica Young's like, I don't have to face Sydney Watts. Okay,
that's fine with me.
Sign me up. Awesome. We will have a story up for this, and then kind of outlining the entire thing, what we do, why we do it, who we do it for, things of that nature. We will also bring up I'm going to change this so it's not. There we go. Well, it's not really running point, but you get it. There we go. So from a standpoint of getting a story out there, also we will have a release of liability waiver for all players to sign. If you are 17 or under, have your parents fill it out for us. It's a direct link. If it says take a credit card, do not do it. You click the wrong thing. Go back and click where it says click here, click there. Like a blue link, green link, whatever color pops up on your phone or your device. Click that, fill that out. It's easy to do. Do it before you get to the field. Makes it a lot easier for check-in. You'll get your shirt and you'll be on your way. $5 is the asking price for ticket sales. For us, all of the ticket sales go directly to NIAP, the National Youth Advocate Program. We will put it in their checking account. We will cut a check to NIAP, and then boom, it's done, and it's all thanks to you. So any questions between now and then, please reach out to us on social media. Anthony and I will do our best to get back to you in a timely fashion. Not a whole lot going on, so we should be okay to get back to you. And then, again, apologies for moving the game from Wednesday to Thursday. But thanks to our friends at YSU, Storm Tracker 21, Wednesday doesn't look great. Doesn't look great at all. So we're moving it in favor of safety. Just plain and simple safety. If for some reason we don't see it happening, because Thursday is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. If for some reason we get bad weather again on Thursday, unfortunately, we will postpone the this year's game. We will do our best to get you T-shirts to the players. If that happens, we don't anticipate it happening. I've made a couple special phone calls to our friends over at Storm Tracker.
Andrew, yeah. Mr.
DePaulo, please don't let it rain on Thursday. But in all seriousness, I mean, it's one of those situations. Like we feel really bad that we had to change it. We pick a day usually on a Wednesday because of travel. It helps get more players there and represented. And then obviously we are at the mercy of Mother Nature, just like everybody. So until they build that giant dome that we've been asking for years, unfortunately we are at the mercy of Mother Nature and what she brings to the table. This year she got us, but
we're not down and out.
We're not down and out. We're just down. We're going to stand up. We're going to fight back. And I can almost guarantee, as it always is with our All-Star games, somehow, because of God's hand right on it, I will tell you that these turn out to be some of the best nights of the season. I know the other night, Anthony, I don't want to speak for you, but I've never seen so many smiles in my life at a sporting event. Everybody had a great time, it seemed. The other thing, I also want to set this expectation. I don't want to talk too long because this isn't a show, but we're under an hour, well under an hour. So, kind of want to make sure people have expectations set properly. This is not a situation where we're trying to play one person for 9 innings. It is going to be a 9-inning game. We don't necessarily want one person to play 9 innings. We want this to be a showcase of your community. We want there to be a lot of representation, a lot of different uniforms, playing with a lot of different girls, a lot of different players. That's purposeful. And the reason we do that isn't to bring people and just, hey, you get one at bat. Like if you get 2-3 at bats, it's a good day. It's a good day. It really is. And we think that we've accomplished that very well. I know that there was a couple of people in previous years that thought that this was some kind of a showcase. It's really not. It's really a exhibition to show what you have as a thank you, a tip of the cap to what you did this year for your school, and it's certainly a chance to celebrate the season. And we do have a lot to celebrate. Whether you won a state championship or you came up short, there is a lot to celebrate in this area for softball. And Anthony, I know you have been so excited to celebrate the amount of talent that we have under the YSN banner all year long.
Yeah, I think the talent keeps getting like better and better and better, and that's why we're seeing more and more players be added to the All-Star game. Not only are we adding more teams like our Beavers over there in PA, but we're also there's more and more kids that are just so hard to keep off a roster nowadays. So it's really fun. I'm excited, and the one thing about these All-Star games, and you can attest to it too, it seems like they keep raising the bar on themselves a little bit. Like every time I go to an All-Star game, whether it was the basketball one this year, the volleyball one this year, I think, man, this is as good as it gets. And then the next one comes and it's like, oh no, it gets a little bit better. So the bar has been raised a little bit by baseball, and I'm sure the softball one is going to go up and meet the bar and then raise it again for the next one in the pipeline.
Yeah, I think baseball, the competition got better.
Oh,
good. It was really cool to see Coach Mariano. He always, the guy I went to college with, always a good time. But brought a basketball hoop, and they were dunking on the sidelines, and it was fun. That's what this game is made to be. We want to see we want to hear the cheers. We want to hear the softball cheers in the dugout. We want to hear excitement, giggling, laughing. We want this to be an interactive experience. So if you want to bring your cell phones and take selfies at first base, or take selfies after a strikeout, or whatever it might be, if you're a pitcher, we invite that. We want this to be a great experience, something that you're proud of. Bring signs. We encourage you to bring signs. Bring the horns, bring the cowbells, bring whatever it makes you feel like you're watching softball and you're cheering your daughter on, or your son if they're coaching the game. So we want everybody to feel welcome. We want this to be an experience. We truly do believe, and I think we say this a billion times throughout the season, this is the home. Our area, our region is the home. It's the hub for all of softball in the state. And I think we show that year in and year out. And I don't know that anybody can put this much talent on one field at one time other than us. And we're so proud to do it every single year, and this year's no different. So come out Thursday night. Check-ins at 5, right?
5 o'clock. Game time is at 6.
Intros.
Wear your high school uniforms
as well. So bring it. Cheer loud. Cheer for your team. Cheer for your rivals. It's the one time you actually get to sit back and. Here's the other thing. Please bring softballs, bats, whatever you want autographed, because we're going to send the girls out. We would love to have them autograph it, take pictures, take selfies, whatever you have. We're encouraging the girls to do the same, because it's probably the only time you're ever going to see this team with that team on the same field. Or, there's so many players that I'm sure people are going to say, man, I wish I had a chance to play with her. And 20 years from now, you'll say, I played with that lady in the YSN All-Star game. It gives me chills, gives me goosebumps just thinking about, that far down the road, playing the long game, so to speak. But this is really once in a lifetime opportunities for these young ladies. And some of them get to experience it 4 times. We're talking about a young lady in Tori Strines that could experience this game 4 times. Evan Tice. First ever YSN All-Star to be represented 4 years in a row. And he teared up. He was so grateful and things of that nature. This is a big game, and it's not that it's not competitive, because I think those competitive juices start flowing around third inning or so.
You saw that in the baseball game.
And I think it's going to be the same in softball, if not sooner. So these girls play to win, man. They're knee deep in their travel season, so I'm sure that those juices will be flowing. But we want to say thank you first and foremost, and you'll hear me say it at the game. Say thank you to our friends at Youngstown State University. Thank you to our friends that are helping us with the insurance for this game. Thank you to Anthony. Thank you to Chris Sigler, all the helpers we're having at YSN that are allowing us to put this game on. Thank you to the communities. Thank you to the schools, the athletic directors, the coaches, but especially to the players, because without them, this game doesn't happen. And they're doing it all for a great cause. And I couldn't be more grateful. And I say it all the time. These young ladies, these young men that we follow on an everyday basis, if my kids grow up to be half the man or woman that these youngsters are growing up to be, then I've done my job as a parent. The parents deserve such a great pat on the back for what they've been able to do, not only with the athletic side of things, but with raising great young leaders in men and women. So tip of the cap to you as well. And I'm looking forward to shaking all your hands and introducing myself to some of you maybe I don't know. But again, you're going to see a lot of smiles on Thursday night. And I'm grateful. Anthony's grateful that there was not much pushback when we had to make that tough announcement today that we had to move it back 24 hours. We're not canceling it. We're looking to really make this a great experience for everybody. And if you've got ideas how we can make it better, we want to hear from you. So I think that's going to do it for us, Anthony. Great draft. We'll have the story up. We'll pin it up for you on ysnlive.com. Make sure you get there, fill out the release waiver. And what else? Am I missing something?
No, I think we're good. I think we covered everything.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's put a bow on this bad boy. Let's go enjoy our Monday night. There's a lot of stuff going on. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. My buddy Doug Plagans, who's the announcer for the Florida Panthers. Hopefully he's a Stanley Cup champion. And of course, Monday Night Raw. Who's going to miss that? And Game 3 of the College World Series. I forgot. Congratulations to Landon Vital Cheese, who is now an Arkansas Razorback, by the way.
Oh, Pig Suey.
Will the game be broadcasted? Yes, it will. Mr. Hollander, we do apologize. I know I believe it's your daughter was set to come, and you guys are going to Myrtle Beach. We apologize. We're going to make it right for you. We're going to make sure we capture a shirt. So please send a message to us, and we'll hold a shirt back for her, so that way you at least have a commemorative for a great season that she had. So thank you so much for all your patience, and we do apologize. All right, that's going to do it. That is going to do it for us, Ant. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Appreciate you. And you can catch Anthony tomorrow, Running Point, 1 p.m. right here on YSN. At some point, my show will be back as well once we get things situated. Anthony's the psychopath that likes to go all summer long with very limited content. So God bless you. God bless you, buddy. Great job as always. Thank you for tuning in. And this has been the 2024 Softball All-Star Game Draft right here on your sports network.